Why chemistry always collects its debt. At first, nothing seems wrong. The system works. Performance improves. Costs drop. Chemistry appears obedient. But debt does not announce itself. It accumulates quietly, stored inside bonds, reactions, and delayed consequences. And chemistry always comes back to settle accounts. Human progress is built on borrowed reactions. We force processes to run faster, hotter, more intensely. We compress time and expect stability. For a while, it works, and that success convinces us the cost was imaginary. To understand why this matters now, we need to redefine debt. Chemical debt is not money. It is imbalance. Energy released without recovery. Materials stress without rest. Reactions push beyond equilibrium. Every shortcut leaves residue. And residue never disappears on its own. The first narrative beat begins with acceleration. We heat reactions instead of redesigning pathways. We add pressure instead of patience. We substitute control for understanding. The output looks impressive. The chemistry looks compliant. But internal stress builds silently. The second beat follows with masking. Stabilizers hide degradation. Additives slow failure. Redundancy absorbs early damage. Systems appear robust. But these are delays, not solutions. The underlying reactions continue. Debt grows with every cycle. The third beat is denial, because nothing breaks immediately. Metrics look healthy. Growth continues. Warnings feel theoretical. Chemistry is assumed conquered. This is the most dangerous phase, when success becomes justification. From the outside, everything works. From the inside, reactions drift. Bonds weaken. Byproducts accumulate. Margins thin. The system becomes dependent on constant input to avoid collapse. And this is where the story begins to sharpen. Because chemistry does not forgive imbalance. It does not reset. It does not negotiate. It only waits until payment becomes unavoidable. Every forced reaction carries a cost. Every delayed consequence compounds. And once chemistry decides to collect, it does so completely. Debt becomes visible only when systems slow down, when inputs drop, when conditions change. That is when chemistry reveals the bill. At first, the cost appears small. Efficiency slips. Maintenance increases. Margins narrow. These feel manageable, adjustable, temporary. But chemistry does not charge interest linearly. It compounds. Every stress bond ages faster. Every overheated reaction creates byproducts. Those byproducts interfere with future reactions. Yield drops. Purity declines. Control weakens. The system now spends energy just to stay functional. This is where the story deepens. Because chemical debt hides inside success. High output masks degradation. Speed hides inefficiency. Growth distracts from stability. As long as expansion continues, consequences feel distant. Then conditions shift. Supply chains tighten. Resources strain. Environmental limits appear. The same chemistry that once delivered performance now resists it. Reactions stall. Materials fail sooner. Energy demand spikes unpredictably. Debt that was invisible becomes unavoidable. Industries experience this as surprise. Equipment wears out early. Products degrade faster. Processes require constant adjustment. Blame spreads outward. Markets, labor, regulation, rarely chemistry. Yet, chemistry is always the source. Here is the early conflict. Paying chemical debt requires slowing down, redesigning pathways, allowing reactions to complete, restoring equilibrium. These solutions cost time, and time feels expensive, so systems delay again. They add patches, more stabilizers, more force. That delay worsens the bill, because chemistry keeps accounting. Every workaround adds complexity. Complexity increases fragility. Fragility accelerates failure. The system becomes brittle under stress. What nobody expects is how synchronized collapse can be. When many systems share the same shortcuts, they fail together. Materials, infrastructure, energy, biology, debt converges. This is the point of no comfort, where chemistry stops supporting ambition and starts enforcing balance. The only question left is how the debt will be paid, gradually or all at once. As debt accumulates, chemistry changes its role. It stops enabling growth. It starts enforcing limits. This is where the conflict reaches its sharpest edge, because chemical debt does not announce default. It reveals it through constraint. Reactions slow, materials fatigue. Systems that once felt flexible become rigid and fragile. Options narrow without warning. Inside materials, stress histories resurface. Bonds weakened long ago finally break. Cracks propagate along forgotten pathways. Failure seems sudden, but chemistry has been preparing them patiently. In reactions, byproducts assert control. Catalysts foul. Surfaces deactivate. Energy requirements rise. Processes that once ran smoothly now demand constant correction. Efficiency collapses under its own complexity. Biological systems show the pattern clearly. Soils lose fertility after years of extraction. Water systems accumulate contaminants. Organisms adapt until adaptation costs exceed benefit. Health declines not from single causes, but accumulated imbalance. Chemistry remembers everything. The buildup becomes undeniable here. Shortcut stack. Each one reduces resilience. Each one assumes future correction. But correction never comes fast enough. The system enters survival mode. Maintaining function replaces improvement. This is a paradox. Chemical debt feels manageable until it is not, because reactions do not fail proportionally. They fail at thresholds. Cross one, and recovery becomes exponentially harder. Cross another, and reversal disappears entirely. Human systems struggle with this. We plan linearly. Chemistry does not. It responds to gradients. Once gradients steepen, reactions accelerate away from control. Debt turns into collapse with no intermediate warning. At this stage, chemistry is no longer optional. It dictates outcomes. Design choices lose relevance. Intentions lose weight. Only balance matters. This is the moment before reckoning, where payment can still be negotiated, but only if systems slow, only if shortcuts stop, only if equilibrium is allowed to return. Because once chemistry begins enforcing limits, it does not ask permission. It simply restores balance, regardless of what must be lost in the process. The climax is not collapse. It is enforcement. Chemistry does not punish ambition. It corrects imbalance. When systems borrow stability without repayment, chemistry restores equilibrium, not on human timelines. On its own, this is the final truth. Every shortcut works until it does not. Every forced reaction performs until residue accumulates. Every delay feels harmless until thresholds are crossed. Chemical debt is not moral. It is mechanical. The resolution is not fear. It is alignment. Systems that survive long-term do not outrun chemistry. They cooperate with it. They slow reactions instead of forcing them. They redesign pathways instead of adding pressure. They accept limits before chemistry imposes them violently. This reframes progress completely. True advancement is not acceleration. It is sustainability of reaction. Materials that last are those allowed to rest. Processes that endure are those allowed to finish. Energy systems that survive are those that respect balance. Everything else is temporary by definition. Modern relevance makes this unavoidable. Faster cycles dominate industry. Instant results dominate culture. Extraction dominates growth. And chemistry records every imbalance created in the process, not as opinion, as reaction history. Once this is understood, the world looks different. Failures stop feeling random. Collapses stop feeling surprising. They become visible outcomes of unpaid chemical costs. The signs were always present. We just learned to ignore them. Chemistry always collects its debt because it must. Equilibrium is not optional. It is the destination of every reaction ever started. The only choice humans have is timing. Pay slowly through design, patience, and restraint. Or pay suddenly through failure. There is no escaping this rule, only choosing how gracefully it is obeyed. So what do you think? Are we repeating the same mistake again? Why